Hello friends, welcome to my channel Data Making. In this video, I am going to focus about how to set up a Apache Hive 3 on Ubuntu 18.04 operating system. So basically, what is the prerequisite for installing Apache Hive? So since Apache Hive is using a SDFS for storing the metadata, okay. So basically, storing the metadata as well as when you create a Hive managed table, it will store the data in HDFS, its own warehouse directory, and also it is going to use the MapReduce framework by default as an execution engine. So Apache Hadoop is the mandatory component for using a Apache Hive. So we already installed Apache Hadoop 3 version. So if people are not seen my previous video, I request you to go through the previous videos and come back to Hive installation. And also when I say Hive, when we create a Hive table, okay, so all this table metadata being used in the database called Metastore. It's a Metastore service. It's in part of Hive architecture. So that is basically it will use a in-memory database called Derby as by default. Okay, so that is not a good database when you go for when you make it the Hive into production environment. For development it is fine, but production it is not a good database because in memory and it supports mostly single user kind of sessions. Okay, so for that we are going to configure Metastore as a MySQL like MySQL as a Metastore database. So basically that Metastore is it's actually any one of the RDBMS you can use it. Okay, basically it is going to store your Hive tables metadata in those DBs. So in our case, we are going to use MySQL as a Metastore database. So it is going to be a step-by-step installation. I am going to explain you everything in detail. Okay, let's get started. So I open my VM manager, VirtualBox manager. So what I'm going to do is basically last few videos we saw how to set up the VM and install Apache Hadoop. So I actually last video I logged into the VM. So basically, you know, this is a Ubuntu desktop version. Though it will have a desktop which is very similar like Windows desktop, right? So people who are very familiar with the terminal, okay, want to work on the terminal. So what we can do is we can actually connect this. We can start this VM and we can connect the VM using a PuTTY utility. Okay, so for that what you need to do is you can click on this VM and go to settings. Okay, and if you go to the network tab, so you see there is a adapter one is in adapter one tab there is a enable network adapter is clicked and it is attached to the NAT. Click on the next tab, adapter 2. Here it will be empty like here. If you look at here, it will be not checked enable network adapter. So you can check the enable network adapter and choose host only adapter. Okay, and you can keep the name as VirtualBox host only Ethernet adapter. If you choose this one, what will happen is basically it will create the IP range. It will create the IP range like 192.168 so on so range, so that you can connect via PuTTY. So I already configured and my IP address range is coming as 192.168 and 25.3. okay, I will show you. Look, let me start my VM. So once I start the VM, okay, so I will open the terminal in Ubuntu desktop. I will find out the uh, basically the IP address. Okay, once the IP address we found, then we can minimize the VM. Okay, then we can work it on the Windows itself through PuTTY utility. It's going to log in a couple of seconds. Let's wait for that. People who are not subscribed to my channel, this is my home page of data making channel. Please click on subscribe button and click on bell button and select all to get notification whenever I add new videos. So that's for your information. Okay, let's go back to the VM. I'm sorry. So I'm logging with my user ID password, data making and username and password also same thing. So based on whatever username and password you set, you can log in. So just have the password in your mind or note it down somewhere. Okay, now it is VM is opened. Okay, so you can open the terminal. If people are who are familiar or maybe having good system configuration, they can go and work in VM itself directly. I don't have any problem. So I'm just people who are having less memories, they would have, say example, they would have 4 GB memory in their host laptop. They would have upgraded 4 GB to RAM. So when they start using it RAM, it will sometime hang or the performance will go down. So for them it is very useful. So just to go to if type ifconfig and find out this IP address. Range is starting from 192.168 and 25.3. This is the IP address in which I can connect this VM from PuTTY utility. Okay. So so if your ifconfig is not working, you need to actually do install sudo apt-get nettools. Apt-get install nettools. So it will ask password for. So I already installed it. So it says already installed. If config is not working for you, you can install using this command. Okay, nettools. Okay. Okay. Now we know the IP address. Okay. I am just minimize it. I will go to PuTTY. So my username is datamaking @ I put the IP address as 192.168.25.3. Okay, and choose the port number as 22, which is the SSH default port number, and then I'll just say open. So it is going to ask me password. Datamaking is my password. Okay, now I logged into this virtual machine. Okay, now everything is here. So our software folder is here. Okay, the last class I installed Hadoop. So as I said, Apache Hive as a dependency is for Apache Hive having a dependency of Apache Hadoop. So I will just, before starting the installation, I have all the steps to follow. What I will do is I will start the HDFS and yarn so that I can create a warehouse directory in HDFS. I will start dfs.sh, which is going to create a processes like a name node, data node, and secondary name node, and then we'll start a yarn script, which will create a node manager and resource manager stuff, so that we can actually use HDFS and you can write Hive queries, which will which in turns runs MapReduce job. Okay, so before that, let's get started. So what we are going to do is, first we are going to download the Hive binary file. Okay, for that you can go to this website Hive Apache org, click on this download release, and you can click on this Hive, and you can go to whatever the version you want to select. I am actually going to choose 3.12. This is the version I am going to install it. So I already taken the link, so you can just click on the right click on this binary file and take the copy of link address, and I'm going to use the wget to download my file. Okay, it's the binary file. So what I'll do is I'll just download it in downloads folders. Okay, so I will just press this. So it is downloading the Hive binary file, Apache Hive binary file. Okay, so based on your internet bandwidth, it will take some time. Okay, so meanwhile we'll okay, it's already done. So let me check JPS. Our HDFS related process are started. So let me start the yarn process also. Okay, now let's see what is the next step. So we need to copy this all. What we are doing is we are doing all our softwares we are keeping in the software folders, because we are installing that location. So what I'll do is I'll just go and I'll open one more terminal. Okay, and so I'll say password. Okay, so go to downloads folders. So the file is available here. I'll just do copy to data making software directory. Okay, so this is done. Once that is done, so here also the just clear the session JPS. So all HDFS and YARN related process are starting. So now we can just start using that. Okay, now fine. So we copied. Now we'll go to this directory and then we'll extract the binary file. So the binary file is hive. So tar hyphen xvzf and give the file name. So it is going to extract your hive file. So extraction is done. So we need to set the hive home environment variable in the bash rc file so that you can use the hive binary hive shell other commands. Okay, I will open the bash rc file in the nano editor. I'll go to the top of this script, sorry, bottom of the script. I will copy this. So basically what we are setting, this is our location of hive. Okay, we are setting as home and adding to the path variable and hive config folder also under that bin for apache hive hyphen 312 hyphen bin folder. You have the config folder, which is the config hive config folder. So I'll copy these 3 lines. I'll paste it here. So this will be our um, hive environment variable is done. So we'll just refresh the bash rc so that the environment variable is will be reflected. Now we can just go and create the database directory. So basically why this database directory is, so the metadata are maybe the hive internal tables and even external tables. It will create its own directory structure in this warehouse folder, user hive warehouse folder. That's a folder actually hive is managed. So we need to create the directory before the installation, before using it. So I'll just first on temp directory also it will use. So I'll just create a temp directory first and set this permission 77 and also create this warehouse directory and then set this permission. Okay, so this is done. You can also verify whether the folder is created. Yeah, HDFS, even Hadoop command also you can verify. HDFS DFS hyphen ls. You can see in the root directory temp will be there, user will be there, and inside user you can just check hive slash. Okay, so it is warehouse directory there. Now everything is set now. So now what we are going to do is we are going to configure Metastore. So if you don't configure MySQL as a Metastore, it will use the by default Derby, but we want to use Metastore. So for that, first we need to install a MySQL database. I'll just update the repository, the Ubuntu repository, using the command called sudo apt-get update. Once this is done, so let's use this command sudo apt-get install MySQL, sudo apt-get. So I just shortly I call it apt-get. So apt-get install MySQL-server. So it is going to install the MySQL database, MySQL server database. It's not a SQL server, MySQL server database on my machine, and it is going to install the MySQL client also to log in and do querying on top of MySQL database. So it says, do you want to continue? It is going to consume some 155 MB of disk space. So it will take a couple of seconds to complete it. Okay, so once let that get going, next we can verify the version, MySQL version once this is done. So uh, based on the repository it has in Ubuntu, it is creating a MySQL version 5.7. Okay, let's run this version command to find out. It is actually MySQL version 5.7.32 it is installing. Now you need actually username to log into this MySQL database, right? By default, there will be username called root. Password we have to reset it. By default, it come with the empty password. You can actually go on as if you can log into MySQL using a sudo and empty password. But I want to set the password. For that, you need to run this command sudo MySQL secure installation. So it is asking connecting MySQL using a blank password, and it's saying, do you want to install this validate password plugin so that it has rules to validate when you set a password. I'll just say no for now because it asks so many things. Means it will validate when you're trying to set up the password. It will validate it. I don't want that. I'll just go with because I want to create a simple passwords. So the password for root is I will just set it as again data making for my simplicity. I set data making, and it is asking do you want to remove anonymous user. I'll say yes. Oh, I said no. Okay, no problem. You can say yes. And do you want to allow disallow root login remotely? That means using the root login from remote machines, do you want to disallow is asking. I say no because I want to connect from remote also. And then do you want to remove the test databases? No. Reload privileges tables now? Yes. I'll say this is done. Okay. So once this step is done, I'm going to I set the password as MySQL, right? So I can start using the MySQL password. The root password for MySQL is basically my root user password is data making only. So I can log into this database. So change this. So basically, what we need to do is um, configuring a root user to log into MySQL shell. So we need to change the authentication from it will be socket to MySQL native password. For that, you need to log in as root MySQL, and if you just select this table, so it says socket. It is there. The plugin is. So we need to make it as a MySQL native password so that we can use the password to connect it. The password for my root user is the data making. That's what we changed in the previous step. So I just thought I'm using it here. So password is data making. I run this alter command just to verify, and I'll run flush privileges. And to verify it, I'll just run again the select query. So now it is changes to MySQL native password. Okay. Now I'll exit from this CLI. This is the MySQL CLI which I logged in. Now I can, okay, this is just to check MySQL service. It's already running. If you want, you can, so basically to reflect this change, you need to start and stop and start it. I'll stop the MySQL service. If you check the status, it is stopped. I will start it. Okay, just to verify it's running. Okay, it started running. So now what we are going to do is we are going to run this MySQL CL command with the root user. Okay, and I'm going to this was asking the password. I given the data making, which that's what we set it in the previous steps. Now we are able to log in the MySQL with our root user, means the root user and password. Now we need to create a database name as Metastore. Okay, so in this database only, Hive is going to store the table information. Whenever you create a table table name employee in a Hive database, that will store the table information in this Metastore database, not the data, just metadata about your table. So I'll just create a Metastore database, and I will use the database, and I'll create user, which is basically just this user. Basically, I already set up this. Sorry, already um, having the setup script. So where I set password as data making $123. Okay, so I already using is this in the shell script, XML script. You can use it, or you can go and change it as a simple password. This, okay, I'll just make it as this also data making. So I'm already I having a root user. For that, the database sorry, the password is a data making. I'm creating a new user called Hive, because the Hive user we are going to use it for Hive process. Okay, Hive component. So for this also I'm keeping password as data making. So just run this, and grant privileges to all the objects, MySQL objects. Okay, and I'm just flush the privilege and just come out of the CLI. This is done. Now we need, there is Hive is using a one file called configuration file called hive-site.xml. This is the file the Hive is going to refer for different purpose, like Metastore. What is the Metastore database, and what is the URL to connect to Metastore database? JDBC URL. This is a MySQL we are using now. So what is the MySQL? So what is the driver it has to use? Okay, and what is the um, user to which it has to connect the Metastore, and what is the password for this? We made it as this is data making. I'll just change this. Okay, this is the database, and other stuff. And there is a Hive server to what is the password sorry, port number for that process. All the things is available in this file. So where you need to place this, you need to actually create in the Hive home folder, in the Hive home directory. There's a config folder. Inside that we need to create. Let's go there first. CD, you can just, because Hive home we already set it, so it is going there. So if you look at here, by default it will have a file called hive-default.xml.template. Using this template also we can create, or I'll just create directly. I'll say nano and create this file. So then I'll just copy paste this entire content over there. Okay, now I'll just paste it here. Okay, this file is now ready for usage. I'll save this. Done. Now we need to so basically we are using MySQL, right? So I have to use the MySQL. It needs a JDBC jar. So we are going to download it from this URL. You can log into this URL and you can check. So I'm using for Hive. So for MySQL 5.7, I'm using this JDBC jar. So using this jar, I'm actually I'm just downloading this jar using the wget command. If you want to just where it is located, you can go to this website. Okay, so MySQL official website, and you can look out for this jar. Sorry, this tar file, and you can just you can download from there. This is the tar file. I'm downloading it. Okay, so already downloaded. I will just what I'll do is I'll first create a okay, and untar it. Means I extract it using this command. So we know this command. Okay, this is extracted. So this is the tar file, and this is the extracted folder. What we are going to do is we are going to create a folder called USR share Java. Okay, so if it is not, just check is the folder is there. Generally the library files, Java library files, kept it here, JDBC here. So this folder is already exists, so I'm not going to create it. If not exist, you can create using the create command. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go to this extracted folder, MySQL connector extracted folder, and you see there is a file called MySQL connector Java -5149.jar. I'm going to use that jar. That's the JDBC jar. While copying it, I rename the jar name as just MySQL connector jar. So if you see this, it's got connected. It's got saved here. Means copied here. Okay. Now this is ready. Now also we need to put it in the Hive's library folder. Okay, lib folder. So I'll just run again one more copy command. So it is inside our Hive directory. I don't use scoop, sorry, sudo command. Okay, so this is done. If you look at the lib folder, where we are, just come outside. So from here, this is the Hive installation folder. If you look at the lib, so we copied MySQL connector java.jar. Okay, so this is ready. Everything is set ready. So what we are going to do is now we need to we created the empty metastore file database, right? We need to configure that metastore file. We need to create a schemas. So for that, there is the Hive framework giving a one tool called a schema tool to initialize the schema tables, like schemas in a metastore database. We can run this. So this schema tool is available under the Hadoop home directory. Inside bin folder, it has a schema tool. You just run this. Basically, you have to say initialize DB type, because they given support for a different RDBMS database like MySQL, Postgres, like that. So we are going to use MySQL. So you need to pass this as MySQL. So I'll clear the screen. I'll go to probably the home directory, my user home directory, pwd. Okay, so from here I'll just, so this is going to use the schema tool from this what is that bin folder of the Hadoop installation. Okay, I'll just enter here. So it is going to, okay, it is saying no such method error from it says google.com base. This is the one of the known error in this the Hive version. So what the problem is, basically the jar, there is a jar name called uh, Gova hyphen 27.0.gre.jar. In Hadoop it has a different version, latest version, but if you look at the Hive bin folder, it is version is 19. So basically we need to take the latest version from the Hadoop folder. To identify that, you can run this find command to check the latest version available in the, means the what is the version available in the Hadoop folder. It says 27. If you if you run it in Hive location, what is the version is available, it says 19. So we'll just take the backup from Hive because we are going to overwrite, right? So take the backup and we'll copy this file from the Hadoop to. So I'm copying from Hadoop HDFS lib directory from the version 27 version to the Hive lib folder. Okay. Now if you see if you run this the previous command for Hive, so now it is this also, now it is 27. Okay, now this is fine, this step is good. Now let's rerun this schema tool command. Okay, so it will let's go on for some time. Okay, so it says schema tool is completed. Okay, so that's how this step also successful. Now what we will do is we'll just So this step is probably you can keep it as optional. There is a upgrade MySQL script. Okay, so to upgrade a MySQL uh, the Metastore database, they are giving a script. So example, if you try to use try to create uh, uh, tables in MySQL, if you face any error with respect to Metastore tables, you can actually log into this MySQL and go to the MySQL Metastore and run this script, which is hive-schema- 3.1.0.mysql.sql. Even if you can run it, that's not an issue, but only if we face issue, you can just run this step. Otherwise, you can ignore it. So for now, I'll just ignore that. You will see if we are facing some issue. So what I'll do is I just go and start the Hive Metastore. So to work to use our MySQL Metastore, we need to start the Metastore service. So you can say Hive hyphen service Metastore. I'm going to run it as a background thread. I am using a NoHub, and another service Hive server 2. If you want to connect the Hive tables from remotely using a Thrift server, we need to uh, uh, through JDBC connect and using Thrift server. You need to start this service. So I am starting this as well. Now just to verify this ports are opened, means these ports are the IU Metastore will be listening on port number 9083. I'll just run this and verify it's working. It's running. Okay, it's listening on this port number. Okay, again, if netstart is not command is not working, you can use the sudo apt-get install to install the net tool so that you can use it. Now what we are going to do is before going to C, okay, we'll go to CLI. Hive CLI. If you go to Hive command line interfaces, CLI is nothing but command line interface. Okay, so to go to that, I'll just type Hive. So it is going to launch it. When it launch, it is by default it is going to use Hive queries to run it on the as Hive queries. When you run Hive queries, it is going to generate a MapReduce job and run it for the processing. So that's what it says. Hive and MapReduce deprecated. It's in 2.0. Maybe not available in the future version. For now, it is coming. So they are suggesting to use execution engine dot Spark and Thais. So basically, you can write Hive queries here, and which will be running on Spark or Thais based on the execution engine you choose. Okay, we'll use it in the future videos. I will tell you how to do that. Basically, you need to set the execution engine, Hive execution engine as Thais or Spark. So for now, we'll just go with the default one. You can just say what is the database available in Hive. So by default, it will be default database and show tables, insert database. We are in the inside default database, no tables are there. I'll just try to create a new database called data making DB. Create database name is sorry, okay, data making underscore DB. I will use the data making underscore DB. I'm going to create a table. Okay, so it's simple table. I'll just say create table. If you don't provide external keyword, it is a internal table or managed table, so that whatever data you load into that table will be managed by Hive Veros directory. So I'll just say customer. I'll just say ID as int and name as string, string, and then city as string. These are um, the database it uses. And now if you just show tables, if you run the show tables command, it is going to show you the tables. Okay, but if you try to run a query on the customer tables, there is no data available. Let's insert into table customer. Okay, so values, I'll just say 1 comma Arun, and he lives in Chennai. Just run this. It is going to generate the MapReduce job. Okay, so you can view this in your 192 dot. Ours is what is the IP address? Let me check. So our IP address is 192.160.25.3. I will open the resource manager BY. Okay, it is not opening it here. Let me check it in the resource manager web UI in VM itself. I'll just check. I'll go here, localhost. Okay, so there is application created. Okay, it was saying failed. Okay, why it is failed? We'll check it. Okay. Says failed. Okay, I will open this. Go to log. Okay, yes, over here. You can go to the out log or error also you can go. Chase some jar is not found. This is it. It says could not found or load the class um, MR map master. Okay, so let me check what is going on. Okay, so or what we'll do is, okay, so 1 minute, just let me check that what is the issue. Okay, so basically so I was not able to find out the MapReduce jars. Okay, so for that we have to set this MapReduce home directory, Hadoop MapReduce environment variable in your MapReduce site.xml. Okay, these are the properties you need to provide. I'll just take this property. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to, okay, um, open my config directory of Hadoop, where it is. So I'm inside the Hadoop installation folder. Go to etc directory and Hadoop directory, and you find there is a mapred site.xml. Yeah, mapred site.xml. Just to open this file in the text editor, and there is already just only one property is set. Okay, I'll just paste this and I'll save this. Now we need to start the IVE service to yarn service to reflect the changes. Okay, so I'll just save it. I'll just come out of this. Okay, I'll just stop yarn.sh and we'll restart it. Okay, so we put JPS and name node and data node, second name node is running. So I'll start the yarn again. and we'll go and insert this data again. We'll check is getting inserted. Okay, now I'll run JPS. I should be the node manager, resource manager started. Now let's launch the Hive CLI. Sorry. Hive CLI and use the database called datamaking_db. So I'm starting very slowly. Okay. It's launching. Okay, I will say use data. I'll just show you four databases. So we'll have a default as well as the data making DB. So we are using data making DB. I'll run this insert statement. Again, it is going to generate the MapReduce job, and let's see what is getting inserted. Somehow it is not opening in the Yarn dashboard in the local. Go to VM and just verify that. Okay, it is in accepted status. Now it is running 0%. Okay, it is map phase is completed, and also there is one more web UI. Okay, the Hive server web UI. Let's say something is running on. So if you pass any JDBC related queries, you can find it here. Okay, let's see, this is completed. Yeah, it's succeeded now. Okay, and then let's go and check. Okay, so I'll just put select star from customer. All right, the user is, it's like the user already, the customer details is saved in the table. We are able to query. So now successfully we inserted the Apache Hive component. We can start building our use cases. Once again, people who are not subscribed my channel, please click on the subscribe button uh, and also click on the bell button and select all to get notification whenever I add new videos. Thank you so much for all your support. Happy learning. Thank you so much.